Let me start this by saying this. Every time Ray J opens his mouth, it is like the universe leans in and says, "Here we go again." And once again, he has managed to light a match and throw it straight into the middle of a decades-old story that the industry desperately wants to keep quiet. He went on camera calling out Beyoncé and Jay-Z for coming backstage at the Boy Is Mine reunion tour. According to him, Beyoncé and Jay-Z have been at multiple shows, slipping in quietly, backstage, in the shadows, moving through the hallways like royalty checking on their kingdom. They hug Monica. They talk to Kelly. They take pictures with Patti LaBelle. They greet the team. They show love. They give respect. But they walk right past Brandy's dressing room every single time without saying a single word. And Ray J said he is tired of it. He loves Beyoncé. He respects Jay-Z. He is a fan. But he is calling them out for never acknowledging Brandy, even though they keep showing up. He said Brandy never complains because she is too grown and too seasoned for that. But as her brother, he finds it disrespectful. That is what he said. That is what started the fire. Pause this moment right here, because before we go any further, welcome to the Messy Sweet Spot YouTube channel. Make sure you like this video, share it, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments. The conversation over here is real, and I want to hear what you think. Now let's get into the heart of this story. Because the reason Beyoncé refuses to speak to Brandy has nothing to do with disrespect, nothing to do with ego, nothing to do with who is the bigger star, nothing to do with tour politics, not even about Brandy's energy, her legacy, or her voice. The reason Beyoncé will not speak to Brandy is deeply rooted in something that began long before Beyoncé became Beyoncé, long before Jay-Z became a billionaire, long before Lemonade, long before the twins, long before Destiny's Child was even a household name. And that reason is this. Beyoncé does not speak to any woman who slept with Jay-Z before she married him. She does not stand in their space. She does not greet them. She does not look them in the eye. She does not acknowledge them. She does not open that door energetically, spiritually, or emotionally. She has her reasons, and the industry knows exactly what those reasons are. Now let's rewind this story properly. Jay-Z has always been a man who separates public image from private behavior. Before he became the symbol he is today, he was known for being possessive, jealous, territorial, and extremely controlling over the women he dealt with. But in the late 90s, when Brandy was at the height of her fame, the princess of R&B, the star of Moesha, one of the biggest young names in Hollywood, Jay-Z was not a superstar. He was talented, he was grinding, he had respect on the street. But he was not the global icon he is now, and he was not considered attractive. He was a man women dealt with quietly. Industry girls would mess with him for connections, for music, or for pleasure, but they did not claim him in the spotlight. Brandy and Jay-Z were close during that time, but Brandy kept that relationship extremely private because publicly claiming him would have clashed with her image as America's sweetheart. This was the era when her label was selling purity, innocence, and perfection, even though her real life was much more complex. Jay-Z, on the other hand, carried deep feelings for Brandy. People who were around at the time said he adored her, he admired her, he was attached to her, he pursued her. He would show up on the Moesha set. He would linger backstage at her events. Brandy was a woman he felt connected to in a way that made Beyoncé uncomfortable years later. Now fast forward to the early 2000s. Beyoncé and Jay-Z were getting serious. Jay-Z was becoming more powerful. Beyoncé was transitioning into her solo superstardom. And that is when certain truths came out. Beyoncé realized she was in a relationship with a man who had a history with women she admired, respected, or was inspired by. And Jay-Z is the type of man whose past does not stay in the past. He keeps his energy tied to every woman he dealt with, even after the relationship is over. That kind of man triggers a specific type of insecurity in any woman, even Beyoncé. Not insecurity in herself, but insecurity about the connections her partner refuses to sever. This is why Beyoncé does not talk to Brandy. It is personal, spiritual, emotional. and deeply tied to the early days of her relationship with Jay-Z. But here is where the story becomes darker and more complicated. Jay-Z has always been heavily connected to spiritual practices that most people do not talk about publicly. He has been tied to occult symbolism, ritualistic energy, glamour magic, and universal manipulation for years. This is not a secret in the industry. People see the signs. They hear the whispers. They watch the patterns. When Beyoncé said, "I even changed my religion for you," the world brushed right past that line. But insiders did not. They knew exactly what she meant. She was not talking about Christianity. She was talking about the spiritual system Jay-Z follows, a system rooted in control, power, and energetic dominance. Now let me bring in Blue Cantrell. Blue Cantrell was deeply connected to Jay-Z. She loved him openly and honestly. And when she left him, her life spiraled in a way that shocked everyone who knew her. She disappeared from the spotlight. Her behavior changed. She was not grounded. She was not stable. People in the industry whispered that Jay-Z put spiritual pressure on her retaliation. Whether you believe in spiritual warfare or not, her downfall was undeniable. And Jay-Z naming his daughter Blue was not an accident or a coincidence. He named her Blue because he was still emotionally and energetically attached to Blue Cantrell, and he wanted that name tied to his legacy. That is what people in the industry say behind closed doors. Allegedly, but there is too much evidence to ignore. Now let's bring this back to Beyoncé, Brandy, and Monica. Beyoncé respects Monica. Always has. Beyoncé has never had an issue walking into Monica's space because Monica never dealt with Jay-Z romantically. Monica is safe. Monica is a sister. Monica is someone Beyoncé admires and can be comfortable around. Brandy, however, is a different story. Beyoncé cannot be comfortable in the presence of a woman Jay-Z was emotionally connected to. Beyoncé is powerful, but she is also protective of her spiritual space. She believes in energy, in aura, in soul ties, in karmic wounds, in generational patterns. And Brandy is someone Jay-Z carried emotional residue for. Beyoncé does not speak to Brandy because Beyoncé sees Brandy as a portal to Jay-Z's past. And Beyoncé does not open past portals. She closes them, locks them, and stands far away. But let me tell you what Ray J also left out. Brandy is spiritually powerful in her own right. The Norwood family has deep spiritual history. Brandy herself is protected in ways outsiders do not fully understand. Beyoncé knows this. Beyoncé respects this. Beyoncé does not try to overpower Brandy. Beyoncé does not challenge Brandy. Beyoncé just keeps her distance. And then you have Kelly Rowland. Kelly and Beyoncé are sisters in energy, not just in life. But Beyoncé has also been siphoning Kelly's energy for years. Kelly is the fresher vibration. Kelly is the softer presence. Kelly is the warm light Beyoncé pulls from when she needs to reset her aura or absorb life force before a major rollout. This is not shade. This is how spiritual entertainment works. The artist with the heavier load pulls from the one with the lighter frequency. Beyoncé is exhausted. Beyoncé is spiritually drained. Beyoncé is financially strained because Jay-Z is not the powerhouse he used to be. Beyoncé is carrying the weight of the family. She is using Kelly's presence to refuel. And that is why she has been showing up backstage so often. And then there is Solange. Solange is the spiritual warrior of that family. Solange protects Beyoncé's aura. Solange cleans Beyoncé's energy. Solange shields the family spiritually. Solange is the reason Beyoncé is even showing up in these spaces right now. Solange is powerful. Solange understands energy in a way most celebrities do not. Solange cleared pathways that Beyoncé could not clear herself. Now back to the tour. Jay-Z and Beyoncé have shown up to multiple shows, not because they want to support Brandy and Monica, although they respect them, but because Beyoncé is preparing for her next era. Beyoncé is gathering vibration. Beyoncé is gathering energy. Beyoncé is recalibrating herself. Beyoncé is watching the crowd. Beyoncé is feeling the room. Beyoncé is absorbing the nostalgia, the love, the healing energy of the audience. She needs this because the next album, Act 3, is coming. A rock album, a transformation album, the last installment of a trilogy. And she needs power to complete it. Now let me bring this home. Ray J was right about one thing. Beyoncé and Jay-Z have been backstage multiple times. They walk past Brandy's room. They never speak to her. They never greet her. They never acknowledge her. And Ray J is confused. But the real truth is this. Beyoncé cannot enter the energy field of a woman who once held her husband's heart, pride, or desire. Beyoncé protects her spiritual boundaries. Beyoncé avoids old entanglements. Beyoncé avoids spiritual residue. Beyoncé avoids karmic portals. Beyoncé avoids emotional attachments from Jay-Z's past. And Brandy was first. That is the truth the industry hides. That is the truth insiders whisper. That is the truth Ray J left out. And that is why Beyoncé will stand next to Monica, hug Kelly, greet Patti LaBelle, pose for pictures, smile for the camera, bless the room with her presence, dot while walking right past Brandy without a sound. Thank you for watching The Messy Sweet Spot. Make sure you like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who loves this kind of breakdown, and subscribe so you do not miss what is coming next. More stories, more breakdowns, more truth, more drama, and more receipts are on the way. Stay tuned.